live.
All right, we will go ahead and call to order the August 19th, 2025 meeting of Alamance County Board of Elections. Does not look like we have anyone here for public comment, so we can just jump into approval of the agenda. But everybody had a chance to review it for today. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
So with that, the agenda is approved. Do we have a printed copy of that?
And you know what? I printed everything, but the
Minutes.
the minutes. Do you have a copy up here?
I do have a copy.
We can just go make copies of it.
I will.
Very good. Copies just in case nobody.
And I
Everybody
always
didn't
make
get.
y'all copies, and I think I was busy with the precinct workers and
I bet.
forgot all about that. Copy her up here.
We do. I wonder if that's something we can ask.
We asked the state for a new copier for a couple years. They thought it's one. After it jammed every few cycles.
We had one of those.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ron.
We didn't pick up that draft here, but we did.
And then I had a chance to read over these from my email. Has everybody else had a chance to look over the minutes from the last one? So all right, well, is there a motion to approve the minutes for July 22nd?
So moved.
All in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
And so that will lead us to the meat of our meeting,
Yes.
which is appointing the precinct judges.
Okay. Tina's she's our precinct coordinator, and she's going to go over, what we have as far as judges, currently.
Okay, so any spots you see on there that are highlighted in yellow that say vacant, those spots are still vacant. The only names that I have received were the two from the Democratic Party. The Republican Party has not seen any names in as of now. One of the names from the Democratic Party is listed on there doing precinct 125. Which
That's
is,
Jose Alegria.
it is.
Okay.
It is. He's the only one that contacted me back.
Okay.
So,
So those are the only individuals we have from between both parties. It's Jose Alegria and Brenda Hughes.
correct.
And we cannot reach Brenda.
No, she has not. I've sent her emails and I've called several times, but no return calls. I have not reached out to the chair to see, but
Well, hopefully we won't have to dive too deep into that today.
so I did speak with the parties. If I can't find someone of that party that needs to be in that position, they were both okay with putting an unaffiliated person in there.
Okay. In one of the vacancies.
Correct.
Okay. And y'all have to help me as we go through these with the precinct numbers.
Oh, okay.
But I think most of them, until a little ways down, look like they meet. Looks like everybody who is nominated in Patterson, that's their home precinct, 01, is that right?
Yes.
And then same for everybody in Coble,
Correct.
02.
Yes.
And then we had 2 from Central Boone and 1 from South Boone. Is that right? And then North Boone, we only have 1 from that precinct. Is that right?
That is correct.
Have we reached out to the chairs about finding
Yes.
other
Yes.
people? Like my understanding is that we have to have a majority of in their home precinct.
If you can find them. That's like this one, in North Boone, the chief judge, he's been the chief judge there for,
Over 20 years.
yeah,
Probably closer to 30. I mean, he's been there a long time.
yes, he has. A lot of these are just, we've done what we could do. I mean, and contacted the party chairs. We even go as far as printing out voters and look at ones that vote a lot. And we'll contact the voters. We send out mailings, like with their tax bills and things. Be a precinct worker
And sometimes you'll get replies back that they don't want to be a judge. They just want to be a worker. And then when you get down to O3W, the chief judge there, she lives in that precinct. So that is her home precinct is O3W. I missed that, sorry.
And Aisha Leith.
She's the same way. That is the precinct in which she lives.
And Phil Langley.
He lives there too. Sorry.
And you were perfectly fine. I was hoping that would be the answer.
Yes. And then the other name that the party sent in, she does live in precinct 125. So if she ever contacts me, I can put her in her home precinct. That would be Burlington Town.
Gotcha. And that's where the vacancy is.
Correct.
Okay.
Have anybody this year that moved from the, how to say, the worker list up to being agreed to be a judge? Or all these folks who've done it before, did we have any new ones?
There are some
That
new ones,
moved up.
yes. I can tell you who they are if you want to know.
Our process in the beginning is we contact the party chairs and, ask for recommendations. And then we also send letters out to all of the chief judges and judges to see if they're still interested in, working for 2 more years as in that position. And so then Tina at that point fills it, goes through and fills in, and then what is vacant is what y'all see now. And she'll call around, she'll call like the chief judge if they've been worked at that precinct and live in that precinct. She'll call them and ask, hey, out of your assistants, or do you know anybody that would like you that feel like would want to work as a judge? And then she calls, so then she'll make phone calls at that point. So has done all of that up till now.
So I guess my concern with the ones where we've got multiple out of precinct people is just, I was looking at this statute where they said in no instance shall the county board appoint non-residents to majority of the 3 positions in a precinct. So I feel like we're kind of with those folks a little bit stuck on that issue with them. And I don't know if some of those people can be like worked around to solve that problem elsewhere.
I know there is a numbered memo. I do not have it with me.
I can look it up.
Yeah, there's a numbered memo that the state has gave permission for us to get workers, because of this instance, when you can't find workers, we have to have the workers. And if you can't find them in that precinct, then you have to take them from another precinct. We do have a numbered memo from the state in reference to that.
You remember any of the verbiage?
It's probably an older one.
To go off down a road where we have to come back.
I think, Kevin, you may have identified another one of those little gray areas. I was just looking at 16341C, and it lays out this whole process and then says, but doesn't address exactly what you should do in that particular situation. Where is it?
We can't go force somebody to deputize them working that precinct.
Oh, numbered memo search. Here we go.
While that's being pulled up, have y'all been able to find people from other precincts who are willing to fit these vacancies? Or?
I haven't as of right now, but I was kind of waiting on the parties before I pushed it to really.
Yeah.
And what we've done in the past is you can't find someone to fill these spots prior to election day. We have some precincts that aren't open this election, and we'll pull in some of those judges to come work in these vacant spots.
Okay. Gotcha. So that, I guess, may just, if we get there, need to be a resolution that we make at the end of today. So
Yeah,
that's probably something
Yeah.
I guess we would need to do.
do we have the number? Let me go get the number memo.
Yeah, I'm not finding it in the search.
It's on my number. Yeah, it says number. I think I have it.
The difficulty in searching for it here is the fact that I don't know if they're saying if they say precinct officials or judges, or if that's the terminology they're using, or if they've slid it into one that's titled differently.
Well, while she's looking for that, do y'all want to, move forward with the resolutions? And we'll come back to that.
That is fine by me if there's no
Yeah,
objections.
let's do that.
All right. So let's temporarily jump to item 6. Do you have copies of those?
I do.
resolutions?
The first one is this is the resolution to temporarily transfer, voters from Fawcett and Pleasant Grove precincts. The, Fawcett precinct only has 28 voters that are in the town of Hall River, and it's adjacent to Hall River precinct. So we will, send letters to the 28 voters and post it in the paper as well and on our website, to transfer those 28 voters on election day to vote at the Hall River precinct. In Pleasant Grove, there's 172 voters that are in the green level municipality, and they will move to the Hall River precinct as well. We've done this in the past. In the 23 municipal election, out of the 28 voters for Fawcett, 5 voters showed up, and out of the 172 voters for Hall River, 6 showed up. And then in 21, Fawcett had 6 voters show up, and Pleasant Grove had 3 voters show up. So to open those precincts, the state
like
gives us the gives us the option to have a resolution to transfer those voters. They do have to be at adjacent precincts, and Hall River is adjacent. So there, y'all want to look over that one.
It's also worth noting that in the case of Pleasant Grove, these people geographically actually live far closer to the Hall River voting location than they do to Pleasant Grove.
Does it mean that they'll have to have different ballots?
There will be, they'll have the same ballot. They will have a separate book for the Fawcett voters and the Pleasant Grove voters. Because when they enter it through the tabulator, it's got to have the correct precinct on it. So Judson will code that tabulator. It'll have 3 precincts, so the tabulator assistant will have to make sure that they punch in the right precinct so that everything equals at the end.
Right.
What we do too, because there's so few, we kind of highlight the precinct, so the ballot table will make sure it draws attention to put the different precinct number on the correct precinct number on the ballot. So we, do Fawcett one color, Pleasant Grove another color.
Okay.
And then, did y'all?
So I think as we have all so indicated by our signatures, our approval is there a motion to approve the resolution for the temporary transfer.
So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next resolution is the time to count the absentee ballots. And this year, I've talked to several other counties because all the absentee ballots have to be counted by the end of election, 7:30 on election night. what they've done in the past is we have our 5 o'clock meeting on Monday. They count their absentee ballots on Monday night, and then on election day, we would count what comes in on election day. We could probably handle everything this year being a municipal on election day, but me and Charlene talked about it might be good to get in the habit of, because come March, we'll definitely have to have that Monday night meeting to count absentee ballots. If y'all are all in agreement for that, we would count ballots at the 5 o'clock meeting on November 3rd, and then we'd meet again on election day at 2 o'clock, and then Friday, November 7th, at 2 o'clock to count the Ucahava ballots that come in and any ballots that have been cured. They have to have their documentation in here by 12 o'clock on Friday. So by 2 o'clock, we could have a meeting and count the remaining ballots prior to canvass. So
Getting in that habit sounds like a very good idea.
yeah. So that is the resolution concerning the time to count the absentee ballots.
And as we have also indicated by our signatures, is there a motion to approve the resolution concerning time to count absentee ballots?
So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and the next resolution is the times to meet to approve absentee ballots, and these are statutorily, set for us. The statute states 5 o'clock, where we do amend this with this resolution to 2 o'clock. And that would be, it starts on 5 Tuesdays prior to the election. So again, these are statutorily set.
And that's when we're starting September 30th.
That's correct. Now ballots, at that point, that's put on here, but at that point, we haven't mailed out ballots yet. So, but it is set, and then with no ballots to count, we just cancel that meeting. But at this point, it's
Y'all got your numbered memo book. I can't find it on the website. I went back all the way to 2011.
We are not going to do that. That's regular business, or that's a regular business meeting.
that's
And
correct.
the others are just the absentee, that's for.
Right.
also indicated by our signatures. Is there a motion to approve the resolution concerning time to meet to approve absentee ballots?
So move.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
And I think the last item is updated board meeting dates.
Yes, I think I gave each one of you a copy, and I just added the, Friday, November 7th, 2:00 meeting to that. That's it's updated since, the July 22nd meeting. So that,
And was that that Friday follow-up that you started out?
that's correct. That's correct. All right, we're,
And do we have a motion to approve the updated board meeting dates?
Summoned.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
we could be in the frequently asked question part of the memos. That's what's probably making it hard to find. We've discussed, this has been discussion with so many counties.
I'm
You
sure
know,
it happened.
I'm sure it has.
I have a
I did
memory.
not even think to, I'm sorry,
Is the memo generated each year, or was it just generated once? And
they generate the memos and then update them as needed.
Okay. I don't know if it was something, part of it, it's generated each year, you'd be able to have a date range to it
Right,
for
but
when you received it.
yeah, it's,
Currently, the state, from my understanding, is working on getting a listing of all the ones that are currently still applicable. But right now, you kind of have to look and figure it out for yourself at a county level. It does say either update or rescind it, but you kind of have to do the math and follow the tree of logic to
I remember as
Get
the
to
party chair, this was normally this provision applied. Then, I mean, that was out there then,
mhm.
that they couldn't find enough votes for a precinct that you could put somebody else in there.
That's when we look at every 2 years. If y'all, I will go call my district. Yeah, and, I'll get back. And so we can get this taken care of. Real quick, I'll give y'all some handouts. I was going to give you under other business. These are our training dates. And then here are the precincts that, and if you look over in the last column, it's the list each municipality that votes in that precinct, in case y'all have any questions. And then the last, the last handout I'm giving is, this is the letter that the state will be sending out for the voter registration repair that they.
So this is after.
This is after we have all the counties have completed, this one, okay. This one, this one. Yeah. All the counties have completed their, updating, searching for any past records that might have had ID numbers and things like that. So now they will be mailing this out to the voters that are currently without photo ID numbers.
And so this
Or,
is,
I mean, not
this is
photo
like the
ID
exact
numbers.
letter we're sending.
That's correct. That the state will send that out
Okay.
without the driver's license number or the last four social security number. I'm going to go call Laura Dale and, if y'all, Charlene, will you
Yes.
explain to them, how, what the state, said they would do as far as the letter? You know, but they're gonna mail it out, or I can do it real quick. They'll mail the letter out and then we will do the corrections. So they'll come back to us. The letters will come back to us. We'll do the corrections. And an election, if we haven't heard back, they, their label will be marked, it'll say NC, DL/SSN, and they have to vote provisional. They will have to vote provisional.
Mm.
And then they'll have until Friday to bring us, you know, their documentation in order for their ballot to count. Okay. And we're currently looking, into getting a colored printer to print our, labels. So, because that will be in red, where, our printers just print it black and white. And we want that to stand out, you know. So,
Definitely.
yes. So, let me go make a phone call.
I'll see if I can still find it and
Yeah.
let you know if I do.
I'm still looking too.
Any kind of date on this, so like, how long would they have before, they end up they're gonna end up voting provisional?
I believe what the state's gonna do is they're gonna send out two letters. So they're gonna send this one out first, and then after a certain amount of time, if they haven't received anything back that we entered into our database, they'll send out a secondary letter. So everything has been delegated date-wise by the state, not by us individually.
Do you have any kind of estimation of how many of these letters will go out in Alamance County? If you had-
In Alamance
if you had
County, I
guessed?
think ours was just shy of 950. There's a grand total statewide of over 82,000.
So how many registered voters are that's small?
Yeah, yeah. We, along with other counties such as Buncombe and the ones down at the coast, who all have a college located within their
Oh,
county lines,
Yeah.
we have a lot, and that's why. So, like Asheville for App State, UNC Wilmington, UNCG, all of those counties that do have those college connections have a lot. So.
But proportionally, you may not get a number of them returned because some people may have graduated or transferred.
Correct. And we just finished our NCOA, so that's the National Change of Address, and we do that twice a year in conjunction with the United States Postal Service. So we do it once in the winter time, so usually January, February, and then again in the summer, usually July, August. And so what it is there's a list generated by the USPS that says, hey, this registered voter has turned in a forwarding address or I have moved address. And then we send out an NCOA card that says, hey, we've been notified that you've submitted something that shows that you have moved. Please tell us which is your current residential address, which is your current mailing address. And then hopefully we get that back. So we can either remove them, update them in our system to their current address within Alamance County, or if they moved out of state, we can always do that as well. Now, after a 30-day period comes back, if we haven't received that first mailing, we do what's called a confirmation mailing for that first NCOA card. And that goes about 30 days afterwards. And I think since I've been doing it in 2014 until when Karen took over, our return rate is approximately 30 to 33% return.
Mhm.
So that's why you see so many inactive. Our numbers for inactive voters jump after those NCOA mailings. So.
are we able to attend like the chief judge? And the
You can come to all the trainings. Actually,
understanding?
Dawn would love for you guys to come and introduce yourselves, and just kind of get a feel for what we do and how we do it. And we try to get feedback not only from the chief judge, and assistants. We also like to get feedback from you guys. So the previous board, when Doug Buchanan was on and all them, and they came to pretty much every training, whether it was Judson's for IT when Staley was on board, or if it was for individual assistants training, or the chief judge training. So chief judge training is our longest, and it's about 3 hours. Before it used to be all PowerPoint lecture, but we've sort of switched it up where we have sort of breakout sessions where they can kind of go to individual stations and mimic a true polling site location to kind of get a feel for how that moves. So
Are each of these dates, so for example, the precinct assistants, are all 3 of those dates like to get all the trainings and go to all 3? Or
No, you just
one
go
of
to
those?
one.
Just one.
So you'll go to one if you are a checking assistant, you'll go to one of those. If you are a ballot table assistant, you will go to one of those.
Now, so 2 questions then. One, October 7th, is that supposed to be fully town?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure since all the other, make sure I was wrong. Okay. The other is, so are these trainings, how long does each thing? So if I go to so the check-in
About an hour.
is about an hour and the ballot table
About an hour.
about an hour. So I can pick different days to go. And same thing, the chief judge training and the machine training.
Correct.
Just pick one of those dates, and are they all about an hour? Or
No, the chief judge training, the top set there, what we call the book training, it's about 3 hours.
you don't have to stay for the whole training. Like if
No.
like one day, if you can come in and like, hey, I can come in for the first 30, 45 minutes at the morning session, but I can stay later at the evening session, you can do that. And that's one of the reasons why we have multiple trainings, is because we have people who do work. And then we've got that retired set who aren't quite comfortable driving when the sun goes down. So
for the machine, and I guess this the machine and provisional training, or judge, the chief judge, the chief judge and judge training is on this particular day. The second block down here contains the machine as well as this is for the chief judges to get trained in the machine.
correct. So they'll be attending Judson's training afterward.
And how long is that the machine work?
About an hour.
Yeah, it ranges because the way I am frequently change the formatting of it to shake it up, but it's right now it's generally about an hour to an hour and 15. What I usually do is I give a overview and go over the seals and chain of custody, and then I have them split up into groups and do the actual procedure out of the book on each machine, because I want to be able to see them. I like to be able to see that they can read something in a instructional manual. At least one person from each precinct can read this procedure and be able to perform it correctly.
But I want the link just help the plan, so I can see what
Yeah.
dates I want to come. I would like to come to all.
Great. And usually provisional is sort of intertwined with the chief judge training, but because of the
It still will be.
this is just a more of a in-depth because of the changes that are coming about because of so many more provisional ballots that we're anticipating on getting with this new law change in regards to this registration repair.
So that's kind of, I guess, that training is going to be.
The provisional training will
part
just
of this
be,
3-hour training.
you'll get an overview of provisional because it goes with the help desk, but the actual provisional judge will come to that other one, and it'll be about an hour's training for them.
And do you need a board member to do any swearing in?
We usually do a very large group swearing in, and it's usually after training. The reason I'm giggling is because one person reads, and then you have like 100 people try to repeat after you. So I think we're going to try to make a slide this time.
So we don't want to have any repeats. Put somebody-
I think it is shorter section.
Yeah.
I only say a few words at a time, get them to repeat it.
Few words at a time. I didn't have an overhead time, so that-
Yeah, it's in their book, so they have it in front of them.
me.
Oh, gotcha.
So I would have just read it a little bit before. I went up there.
It's very similar. so.
It's I think it's the standard North Carolina state oath where you just sort of insert your name, insert your position, whatever general statute is going to be affiliated with your job for that point in time.
She's on this. Just like me, she knows we have talked about it. And there's something, but but what we have right now is in the book, 163-41C, the chairman of each political party in the county, if possible, shall recommend 2 registered voters in each precinct who are otherwise qualified. Was in that precinct, at least 2 could in the precinct, 2 voters in the precinct. That's what Laura said.
Right, so these other ones, we just said,
The-
we have either 1 or none from the precinct.
Right. So
Those are the ones. that
could you
I guess,
approve the ones that have 2 or more from the precinct, and we can come back
I,
at the next board meeting and
so my understanding is per the statute, we have to approve these people today, like just we gotta do it today. As wild as that is, but certainly I think we can jump in right now and approve these individual precinct sites that are totally fine and figure out what we need to do about these other sites. You know, yes, it may do to call the party chairs and tell them, hey, this is mandatory. You scare somebody up from each of these locations. And I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I see that number of members out there, so we just find it. Find it, take a finger.
well, she has a chat, and she said that the one person answered her back, and it's more been a discussion, not a number. You know, it's like been a frequently
I got
asked
you.
questions. So we have to find that.
So maybe their internal FAQ rather than
Correct.
something that was ever put out to anyone.
Yeah. Because if it was an FAQ in a numbered memo, that's where they which I'm sure you've seen before, they pretty extensively cite that out of case law. But if it's something they have just been discussing amongst themselves, then I don't know.
But it sounds like the operative word there is if possible.
If possible, exactly. I mean, this is basically,
It says if possible in there. Is that what it says?
listen, what was you reading?
So I was reading from 163-41C, and it lays out all those scenarios. And the very last sentence is where it says, in no instance shall the county board appoint non-residents of the precinct the majority of the 3 positions of chief judge and judge in a precinct. So that's where I'm thinking, I mean, we can't do that unless we
To a
have some.
majority. It says to a
Right,
majority.
right.
So one,
The one is perfectly
Yeah.
fine, you know, which I think we have a lot that are just one.
mhm.
That's totally fine. I think we have 10 that are problematic. North Boone, North Graham, South Graham, West Graham, South Melville, Melville 4, South Burlington, West Burlington, Burlington Southern, and Haw River. I think South Melville is having nobody in the precinct.
I have one for the South Millville 1 now.
Tennis one.
Okay,
Or tennis, that's right, tennis one.
so we have one.
I'd be curious to know if any of these people, the ones where it's any of the problematic ones, are people like Mr. or like Chips Chapman, who you said has done it in that precinct for so long. I hate to move that person. That kind of helps me zero in on what position we need to move, if for something we need to. But if we find out that we can have it as such as it is now, then
That would be great.
that would be the ideal. But there is not, that you're saying you don't think there is anything hard and fast, but it's just kind of discussions that have been had and kind of how people have
And
done it.
frequently asked questions.
I know I remember as a party chair having that exact discussion with Kathy, and I mean, if you couldn't find somebody, you had to put in because I know as a party chair, I remember how difficult it was to find people, and then I never put, had a list that had everybody on it, so y'all were always picking up the slack and finding folks, so it's very difficult to do.
In some of these precincts,
And like that, you say we have to do it, they have to do everybody do
It's my
that.
understanding that it's gotta all be done.
All
today.
or nothing.
No, all or all.
And if it's all wrong, then it's we for improving until we find some way to say, we can't have people in the particular precinct. It sounds like this has just been standard practice, not just here, but probably throughout the state for some time. Which isn't codified.
there's a legal presentation from a 22 conference where Paul went over this, Paul Cox.
Okay,
And it said it was very helpful for appointment purposes. It does not reference one stop and the changes before Senate Bill 747, but the election day items are still relevant.
That sounds like exactly what we would need.
Do you want me to go on the internet and see if I can
Well,
find that invitation?
we do have to appoint them all today under subsection A. So.
well, my suggestion is appoint, and we can look for what Paul, under Paul's guidance, to have that back to you. And also Tina can work on moving, as many around as she possibly can to get in the correct precinct.
I'm fine with that.
And then I guess, do we want to try to get back together on that at least before this training date, before the trainings? So we'll have a
The
September
first-
meeting. So
Yes, we'll
that's
have a September meeting.
before then. All right, well, if everybody's on board, I guess we can just go ahead and approve who we have now and sort out everything else out between now and the September meeting. If is everybody on board
I'm
with
good with
that?
that.
So is there a motion to approve the current slate of judge nominations?
So moved.
All in favor?
And here is this.
And so I guess just as a procedural matter, we'll want to make sure that reviewing this is on the agenda for the September meeting. And I guess that will be the September 9th business meeting. Okay. Does anybody else have any other business?
I did want to give y'all, I gave you the conference dates for, the next 3 conferences. If y'all wanted to make a note of that, the winter conference, which is January, 26th and January 27th, of 26 is, virtual. So that'll be virtual. Okay. Summer of 2026 is going to be in Greensboro, and that's August the 9th and through the 11th. And again, that's in Greensboro. Probably, I think everybody was very pleased with the Corey Center.
Was it the same place that we were at before?
That's correct. And then the summer of 2027, it's August the 1st through the 3rd, and that one's in Asheville.
Did you say 1 through the 3rd?
Correct, August 1st through the 3rd. That's in 2027. And that's all the additional business. And the forms, any of the forms that were in your packet, if you'll, just in the next couple, like today or in the next meeting, have those ready for us, if you don't mind.
I remember my binder next time
Okay.
when I filled it all out.
Again, that's just in case, when y'all were here all day and,
In case one of us falls out.
right.
Okay, well, does anybody have a motion to adjourn? Sorry. All in favor? Aye. All right.
And we
And-